Hey guys, it's Evan. It's super dark in my room. I thought this new little light I found would bring whoops, some light, but I guess not. Well, good, because guess what? Yesterday they dilated my eyes and I was like a vampire. Did not like how that stuff made me feel. It just brought me down so fast. I don't like feeling that way. It was like both my eyes turned into cotton candy balls. So I got an itch. I'm like a pup. I had a scratch. Anyways, I used a school resource. I probably should send this one email, but I used this school resource called Together All from my college, and the dumbest things happening. It's just stupid stuff. They want proof of my high school FAFSA does. Since when? Weirdos. Talk about invasion of privacy. They're like, oh, don't tell me you're trying to respect my privacy by violating my privacy. That's dumb. Anyways, I'll be the solution, not the problem. I just have so much going on. Ugh, I haven't even finished Crossword Mysteries. If you haven't seen the Hallmark original Crossword Mysteries, A Puzzle to Die For, it's a good movie. Anyways, I was saying that I did this together all. I'm trying to see what time it is. It's 4 o'clock in Maryland, so I got some time. I think ultimately, like, I'm praying that God, this money comes through. I think I'm gonna get a house in Newport. I feel like that's fitting, right? I don't know. I feel like Newport's a nice place from what I've seen in Hallmark movies and TV. Plus, a brother from Brother Brown from the church, he says in Connecticut there's no tax. Like, I don't think there's no sales tax. I think Rhode Island's good. Newport, I'll check out. Maybe I'll get like a baby mansion. That way nobody can tell me I can't build a basketball court. See, because if I get these houses in their neighborhoods, then they're not gonna let me have a big old basketball court. But see, if I'm out there and I get this baby mansion with lots of land on it, I, I will I'll be mindful of nature. I'm not gonna destroy the little homes, but at the same time, who's gonna tell me I can't build a basketball court? These are things I need to be thinking about. Anyways, when I was doing this together all thing, it really helped me with my emotions, and I'm not good at that stuff. I intentionally make a choice to not want to feel, and I feel like that's my choice, and it makes me smile. I feel like there are ways that technology can help us not feel, and I feel like while most people say that is dooming, like doom scrolling, I feel like it's worth looking into. And I have been feeling so much shame for so long because of how I see my emotion and my behavior. And I thought it was cool about this course that I took. Within 10 minutes, well, I guess the duration of the course, before and after you take the same test. And how I scored, I thought was super interesting to me because let's see if it's still there. Oh no, my test is not there. Let me check. Mm, no, it clocked me out. It's asking me to sign back in. But anyways, like I think for me, with my specific trauma that like only I know the trauma that I've been through. Only I know my life. but I looked at the results before and after, and I reflected on the course, like what I picked up in the course, and I think I picked up a lot of confidence, and that's really hard for anything. Like people can tell me I love you, and I doesn't doesn't strike up any form of confidence in me. But this course really gave me some confidence. I think maybe it was the test taking, like taking the test before and after, and seeing like real live time what I scored. I think that gave me this confidence, like that there is nothing wrong with my belief system. I can, I think I'm really stretching to compromise and say that maybe at times the belief I have with my emotion, like that matching up of my belief and my emotion, matching those up, maybe at times that is an issue, but I feel like it is an issue that I can experience because I'm a human being. How my emotion and how naturally my body is going to respond to another human is out of my control. And although people say that you can control these things, like I don't even believe with mindfulness that it can be gently or in any form control. Actually, I think mindfulness is super powerful in the sense that mindfulness shows you once you practice it that your body's response to things, like that is a power that most people can't even begin to understand. Because I feel like with these types of like lack of control, lack of having any sense or control of your own behavior, of your own actions, you can't even, those people, those types of people that have been there or are there, they can't even begin to comprehend like what's in front of their face, let alone understanding that the reason something is in front of their face is because naturally, just like that sneeze came out of nowhere, and I've sprayed like an unreal amount of dust mite, whatever, Clorox dust mite stuff. But I probably rummaged up the dust mite matter because I scrubbed the carpet, so I'm sure that probably rummaged it up off the ground, the fibers. So that course really helped me. It helped me, and it could be that I'm stubborn, but I feel like what I have gone through, I have gone through, like, I feel like not many people will comprehend or understand, and even realistically looking at the numbers across the board, if I put together all of the entities that the man I work for, if I add all of those employees together, that is still like less than point something percent of the planet. And I feel like, is it a large number? Yes. Compared to one man, the ratio, I mean, incomparable is not even the word. So I feel like I think I really had to feel not just the knowing of like I'm in control of my life, I'm in control of my decisions. Like that's easy for somebody like me. But I think I really had to feel control. Control, not in controlling others or even myself, but I really had to feel the control over my life. Like, can I control things in my life? Sure. It doesn't take much of a genius to control things in their life. I can control and organize my room. Having organization over my schedule, my life, my room, or my health doesn't mean I have control over my life. And even having control over my life still doesn't mean I have control over my life. I think when I've discovered like what comes on the other side of facing my adversity, like dealing with idiots like John, VAOIG operator number 16 is on my poop list. That's super, super hard to do. So when I deal with people like that, it makes me go like really go into those experiences where like I'm thinking about yes that interaction with him and interactions where I don't want to say discrimination, but people that the people that treat me this way or just poopy people in general, those numbers at times, like I just said, numerically, at times I have been outnumbered. But I think about today and doing that course, and it was like a 10-minute course. And then I really see numerically like the numbers. Like I said, the man that I work for, if I look at all the companies he owns and all those employees and I put them together, it's a very small amount of people on the planet. And I have like this huge gratitude towards the God that I know for removing me from that place and removing me from that environment. But that doesn't take away everything that I felt and everything that I experienced being there, leaving there, going into homelessness, nearly losing my life. And I think this course really helped me understand that like how I can define me, not social norms, nothing else, but I get to define my emotional behavior. And understanding my emotional behavior and seeing it in in that format really gave me the confidence to get up and to move and accept that I am just an absolutely great person. And even if only I see it, who cares? I see it, I acknowledge myself. In the beginning of the course, it said to journal, and I'm not even going to try to journal. My mind doesn't work that way. Am I great at writing? People fall in love with my handwriting. People fall in love with what I write and how I write it, and I even fall in love with the crap that I write. I started writing for my writing class, and I started writing like doing I guess somewhat of a sleep journal. It's really crappy, but I started writing things that come to my mind, and I'm like, wow, like I actually am really good at this. So yes, that journal entry suggestion in the course was nice, but my brain just doesn't work like everybody else's. Like I'm sure journaling in Dear Diary or creating a burn book, I'm sure that works for everyone. Just does not work for me. I was in the workplace and I never needed to know the temperature. I never needed to know what day it was. I never needed to know anything because I would constantly get into a car. It was always 70 degrees. I could look anywhere. I could look on my wrist. I can look at my phone. I can look at multiple tablets, computer screens. I mean, technology was all over me. I could look up and see the time. There was no need for me to ever have a paper calendar. Like, I'm killing trees. Do people not are they not considerate of killing trees? Like, no, they're not. So, I mean, I was in this sustainable ecosystem where, like, I didn't have to do any of that stuff. And I'm sure that works for people, but present day, with everything I have going on, me sitting here and journaling, I don't see that happening. I mean, I'll pull out the journal and I'll write if it's to the woman that I love, sure, because she means that much to me that I put my hand on pencil and paper. And I don't even like writing in pencil. I think lead is the most disgusting thing on the planet. But whatever. I have a cootie problem. I don't like getting my hands that dirty. Like, and I like playing with grass and like I'll get dirty under an engine for sure. But anyways, it was a really good course. It built and boosted my confidence in the sense that like I think that I couldn't really break free from that structure of like that corporate agenda that was achieved at the end of daily operations, like at the end of every day, like knowing that I was a part of an ecosystem that just achieved so much. And every morning, just kicking off the morning and making such a transformation in the world and being a part of that. And also like all the suspense and all the behind the scenes and behind the curtains. Like my phone, I remember when I worked for that company, I remember when I worked for Tesla, like my phone would be going off in my back pocket. And I was like, what the heck? Like it would be early in the morning, pitch black. I'd be getting into the Mustang and my phone was already going off. And it was Twitter at the time. It was Elon tweeting. It was ABC News. It was all of these people saying all of these things about the company that I work for. And I'm sitting there like real life time, like none of this is true because I'm sitting here right now by myself. And, it was just like, talk about being a lone wolf. Like, I knew a lot of it wasn't true because I was there. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm at the factory or I'm here at the service center. Nobody's here. It's just me. So, like, I don't know. It was just kind of that life. Now I'm on the other side. So, I like to put it like I was like Aaron Rodgers on the Packers, and when it came to the Jets, and on the other side of things. And sure, better deal. Everybody's going to love me, and I'll have more fans. I'll have more people that love and support me, and not even 45 seconds into the first quarter just went down. So I don't dwell in like why this happened to me. Could I have done anything better? Should I do anything better? I think with this course, it showed me like I am better than most people, and that is okay. And I shouldn't undermine myself because of what the control I was under in the past doesn't taint the control that I have over my life entirely. And I am more than capable mentally to say these things, to control these things. So since it said to journal, I was like, well, f that. Like I'm not going to journal, but I'll definitely vlog and see how this helps me. Journaling apparently helps. So just simply journaling what is going on in your life helps. So I'm not going to do that crap. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not going to sit here and journal Dear Diary. It's just not for me. I almost died and lost my life. You think I'm gonna sit here and scribble and cry about it? No, but I will get on YouTube and I will video vlog this. I think it's helpful to video vlog it. I don't know. I heard Johnny Depp say that he has never ever gone back and rewatched any of his movies, but then again, Amber Heard said that he pooped in the bed. So I feel like these are both truths, kind of like that two truths and a lie. I don't know where the lie is. I don't know, but I heard that he said that he doesn't rewatch any of his movies. So maybe I'll never rewatch any of these lives, any of these vlogs, but putting it out there in the world, it may help me one day. It may help someone someday. I, I mean, I did a mental health assessment not too long ago, and that was the first time that I ever really talked to people about what I've gone through. So for the first time in almost 3 years, that's crazy to me. And it's not even 3 years. Like I'm almost 40. I joined the military when I was 17. So that's almost like 20 years that the VA hasn't. For a guy that the VA has never assessed his mental health, I think I'm doing pretty damn well. Like, all I've ever had is these phony doctors tell me if you don't take this medicine, you're not going to get paid like Dr. Rama does. Dr. Ramen made my poop list, and I have emails here where I can entertain it, but I choose not to. Why? Because I know that man touched me. I watched a video X-rated where this chick with her feet did some naughty stuff, and this guy touched my shins. He could have a kink for shins. I'm not kink shaming. I don't believe in kink shaming, but I'm sitting there in a VA appointment. Don't freaking touch me. And if you touch me, like Kevin told me the other day, don't touch me. Like I call him Evan with a K. But anyways, dang you, Kevin, you got in my head. Anyways, so I'm just like, don't touch me. Do not touch my legs. Do not touch my shins. Don't touch me. I don't like when anyone touches me at all. At all. I don't like when people touch me. And now that I've been in a wheelchair, I really don't like when people touch me. But it's different. Like I feel like if it's one thing, like Miss Tiffany is different with people that I know, and it's people that I know they just like they. You can tell when somebody's being a creep weirdo and intentionally touching like a creep or weirdo, and when somebody just like, when somebody just a light touch, okay. But when you're being a weirdo and touching me like weird, being weird to me, I don't do that crap. And I watched this movie about that girl. She's a rapper. What's her name? This girl. She's a rapper. Let me see if I find the movie because it was a good movie. I think this is a song she sang. I looked it up. They said she sang this song. Oh, Little Mama. That's just her name. I don't know if that's her real name. It says Lil Mama. Hey, she kind of looks like Key. Jessica Kirkland. Nyasha Jessica Kirkland. It's called When Love Kills. That's the movie, the Felicia Blakely story. And so, anyways, this is about a teen mom. She was a exotic dancer. You like how I fluffed that up? I fluff up any professional job. Sandwich artist, I, vehicle readiness specialist. I fluff up all the names. You don't know who I work for. The phoniest guy on the planet. So she was an exotic dancer. She was a stripper. She was an exotic dancer, and this guy, Dino, he comes in there and he starts saying, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to rob these people, like dance and distract them and rob these dudes, right?" So then he sets her up, and so she just like she loses her chicken nuggets, so she snaps on him. But my thing is, what I learned in this movie is Dino was slapping these women. Like he was just wham. Like he, and it wasn't just Dino, but they were just slapping each other. And the thing about what I learned about this movie, violence is never the answer. But what I learned about this movie is, it says on August 15th, Blakely and Dino robbed and killed two men, Claudel Christmas and Raymond Goodwin. Let's see. I'm almost positive this is based on a real story. Tasha Smith. Let's see if I can watch like a YouTube video. But what I learned in this movie is how to backhand slap somebody. I put it lightly. And my thing is, if you touch me and you violate me and you do it to my face and you do it to me and you caught me on that day, I'm putting my hands on you. I'm gonna show you. You want to put your hands on me? You want to put your hand on young men, on young boys? Then you gonna feel it. You want to feel me? I'll let you feel me. You want to touch on me? I'll show you what touching me. You want to be whatever, a weirdo? I'll show you. You'll never forget what being a weirdo felt like. I don't do that stuff. First of all, the way John, VA Operator 16, the way he treated me, I never treated nobody that way. And the way Dr. Raman did what he did to me, I asked my driver, "Can I touch you? This man want to touch me. Don't be doing weirdo stuff to me like that, because I do. These people, they're weirdos. They do weirdo stuff to me. I don't do weirdo stuff. You might as well call me Christian Grey, and I'll take you to the red room. You want to play around? That's his name, right? Christian Grey, whatever his name is. I don't play that weirdo stuff. And these people that want to get weird and violate me, if I feel like you're harming me, trust and believe I'll fight back. I'm not doing this crap no more. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't be like everybody else. Everybody else, they can get up and fight back, not me. But I get you. I'm so tired of this crap. That Dr. Raman, he touched on my legs. And he treated me like crap. And I got these emails in my email saying, "Oh, your case been open closed." Okay. Well, you telling me something I don't already know? You can open close me, but God is open to receive us all the time. And God sees through these people messing with me. There's one place for them. There's this lady in Parking Wars. I'll never forget this episode. I probably can't find it. But there was this episode of Parking Wars where this guy he jumps into the car. I think it was a lady. I don't know. I think it was a lady and a guy. And sometimes they pair up in the parking wars, the partners is like two at a time. And they were towing this guy's car and he wants to jump in it to try to stop them from taking it away. So he jumps in the car and the lady tells him, "Oh, you want to play? Like, you want to play around? They got one place for you. If they play all day, if you want to play around, go to jail." That's what she told him. If these people, they want to play with me, they can go straight to jail. I called the cops on Dr. Ali Babu. You think if I didn't call the cops on him, I'm not going to call the cops on anybody else? Shoot. Stop being weird. I called the mayor of Houston, Texas on the back of an ambulance going to the VA. I'm not playing with these people. It's this movie.
At first, it was weird. I mean, I wasn't used to a lot of attention, but it started making me feel pretty. And eventually, I changed Felicia this summer, and I started getting paid.
Oh, see, it's based on a real story. I guess Lil Mama the rapper played this lady.
A string of brutal crimes rocks Atlanta's hottest social scene. The adult entertainment industry was booming. Men had a lot of cash going into these clubs. He was shot execution style. I was shocked. We actually was just so scared.
So I guess Lil Mama plays this lady.
In a world of glamour, sex, and secrets. Atlanta was lit. It was the place to be. The club owners, the bouncers, the security, they're not real excited to have police.
Anyways, I'm not a violent man. I am not a violent person. I am a victim of violence, and I'm no longer a victim of survival.
The Orlando Police Department contacted our agency concerning a similar incident that they were investigating.
But I think it's good for me
Dark confession reveal the truth.
to talk about what I'm going through at the time. And then I started this next course called like Procrastination Why We Do It. And I think that kind of helped me too because, you know, so often procrastination is tied to like lazy. Or like growing up, I always would hear like my grandpa say, "Don't be a couch potato."
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that.
I suppose like, you know, I don't know if it's right to say that it's like a sedentary lifestyle, but I've never been that way. And I think my procrastination, if any now, it's really heavily rooted in my physical, I suppose, like belief system, like my emotional belief system on accepting my physical now. I think it's not that I procrastinate, I can't do it anymore, and so I get frustrated, and I'm like, bro, I can't get up, I can hardly move, I can hardly get to the toilet or use or scrub myself. I can't scrub my back very well, so
So I was like, okay, cool. He said he was cooking.
I just tap
some
out
steaks with some
entirely.
friends. So
And
my
that's not
friend,
very
me and
good.
Sam, wanted to go over there. Her brother Ray.
Maybe one day my kids will go
party
through all
with his
this
friend
footage of
Don.
me on YouTube. Who knows? When I have my own family, I don't know, but I think it's good for me to video vlog. And I was asked on a scale of 1 to 10, like how much do I like writing? I said 9, and I think what stops me is my physical. Like, I worked with my
And he
OT,
was like, hey, I was on the phone with Doc, and I
and
heard gunshots.
they actually put like this.
And
Actually,
something
I've been
like he
doing
couldn't
really
breathe
good
or something
since.
like that. He said he did hear some female voices in the back. He said, give the money, give the money.
But they put this warm compress on me.
But I said, let me
I
call
did
him.
so much
So I
yesterday.
kept calling Doc, no answer. I'm like, what the hell?
And
Strange.
my
So I
right
kept
hand
trying to
felt
call Ray.
heavy. But I can't really feel like much in my right hand. So. But I felt this, my right hand get heavy. Well, who would have known that? It just made my hands feel so much better. And my hands get hot all the time.
Man, Sam
But this was like
got
a
in
good
the car,
hot.
and we walked up. And when we got to
Like
Ray's
when I
door,
go
it was
get the garbage
packed a little
cans,
bit.
my hands are like
So
on
Sam
fire.
kicked in.
Like this one, I can't feel this one. But this one gets on fire from the hands of the
He was like,
garbage
it's not
handle.
good.
I'm like,
It's
well, my
not good.
hands
I'm
are
like, what?
fire.
What happened? What happened?
I'm dying anyway.
He was like, they did. They did. I was like, oh my God.
I should have my gloves on, but I've been doing so much. I went to volunteer at the church with my landscape, and I use my gloves then.
So I end up
Ugh.
calling 911.
there's just so much. Like, I don't even want to waste my time or energy on anything.
First
Because I
responders
fall
with the
into this,
DeKalb
like,
County Police
what's the
Department
point?
arrive on
You
the
know,
scene.
I'd rather just waste my life
Both
alone on
victims
YouTube
were deceased
than
in the
respond
living
to
room,
these losers in my email
one close
inbox.
to the
Because what's the
couch,
point?
the other on the floor.
You know,
I started documenting the
I
crime
don't.
scene as I saw it.
There's literally no point
They
at
secured
all.
the crime scene
Because
and then notified the
the
DeKalb County Police
reality is,
Major
at the
Felony
top of the
Unit to
top of the
respond.
stack, it's like whether I'm at the
Outside
bottom
the
or the top of the
apartment,
stack,
Carlita is in shock.
there are people in place that are doing everything in their power
Everything was rushing
to
through my
make
head.
that stack
Everything was
disappear.
ooh, what went wrong? I just broke out crying. We
So
couldn't wrap our minds around it.
it's just so sad. And I think that there's so much complacency, and I don't know. I feel like what's done is done as far as like the political figures. I feel like, you know, the political figures involved in the Epstein, obviously it goes bigger than what people think. I think that there's way more people involved. I mean, I would remove and replace the actual SD cards and data from these Tesla vehicles. So I know that there's so much more to this. And I just feel like I have compassion towards those victims. I feel like I don't know. Force says he's like, you know, yes, people are moving, but then not every. He said everybody in the world. I said, man, if all this is happening, why can't they get Donald Trump out the White House? And before said they're not shaking the right branch, and I feel like that's true. And I feel like I feel like I have nothing to lose when I know God is with me. But He proved that by keeping me here, my life. I heard at church, you know, God says that, or Jesus said that He is the vine and we are the branches. And I thought it was funny because on my way to church, I saw this guy and he was picking up branches, wearing a yellow shirt and a cowboy hat. And I remember saying, oh man, I should have worn my cowboy hat. But I thought about the man that owned the shelter, Robert Heckley, picking up, when that man was picking up the tree branches. And what I heard at church, that Jesus said, He is the vine and we are the branches. Let's see. This is John 15:5. Jesus declares, I am the vine, you are the branches. And I interpreted that as like when I saw that guy with the branches, that landscaper, I don't even want to call him a landscaper, just a guy fixing the front yard. But when I saw that guy picking up the tree branches, the pile of branches, just picking up branches, all he was doing was picking them up. I was like, what is this, 1, 2 pickup sticks? He just kept picking up the branches. And I thought about Robert Heckley and the refuge. You know, so many days in and out, this man preached about Jesus and God. And I feel like he is just picking up branches. It says, you are the branches. Like, he's just participating in a huge systemic problem. Like, you're not ending homeless veterans or homelessness, you're enabling it. All you're doing is picking up branches. You're picking up people, just picking branches, picking branches, picking branches. And Jesus declares, He says, I am the vine. And I am very deeply rooted, if not in Jesus, in my identity and who I am. And that won't fail me because I know that I I have every right to be confident in my belief system and who I am. I never grew up, and I never, even with my grandfather's belief system and my own as an adult, I do not believe that Jesus is God. And there's so many people that modern day still believe that Jesus is God. I don't believe that. I do believe that God brought Jesus into this world. And Jesus, like every other icon, every other biblical figure, has his story. And I can accept that. Yes. I can accept that Jesus Christ paid the ultimate price. He sacrificed his own life. But he was not alone. The Romans didn't just do it to him first. And I think that there's so much more. I don't want to say in a historical sense that modern day people are coming to accept, and that's okay. But for me, when I saw that guy picking up the branches, I thought about Robert Heckley at the refuge. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, God doesn't want this for you. You know, do I accept that Jesus is divine? Yes, Jesus wants, like, when Hector Mendes was driving me to my storage to an LJ in Richwood, there was this van in front of him, and it had a sticker on there, and it had like the fish, the icon, and it said Jesus. And my mom was like, "What are you doing?" And Hector was like, "I'm trying to get around this car." And I said, "You're not going to get around it because Jesus is trying to show you that he doesn't want you to go around him. He wants you to go through him." And that's kind of the point of this. It says in John 15:5, Jesus declares, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing." And that's kind of like what I was thinking. Like, you know, for me, God doesn't want that for me. God does not want me to be a POS man that just picks up branches or just makes a pile of branches or even a pile of leaves. He doesn't want me involved in any of that. There's so many people in the world, all they do is pick up sticks, build with those sticks at times, even. But I don't believe that that is my purpose. You know, I feel like for me, God wants me not to just pick up the branches and be okay because the branches are God's people. He says we are the branches. So I'm not sitting here trying to collect followers. And like Ye says it best, he says, I'm not trying to convert atheists into believers. I'm just trying to show you the way I need Jesus, tell you the way I need Jesus. And he says, like Kathy Lee needed Regis, that's the way. Anyways, you know the song. I know the song. And that's his purpose for me. His purpose for me is, he says, if he says I'm divine, that means he's trying to show us if he's just one vine, he came from an entire vineyard. And if you ever really look at a vineyard, I know my cultural roots and where I come from. My grandfather comes from Spanish people. But if you ever really look at a vineyard, these vines, they're super sensitive. Like, I know Fred Coppola, I believe, I know a bunch of car facts, but Fred Coppola drove one of the first manufactured EV vehicles. And his reason for driving that car in his vineyard is because a lot of vineyards, they use all of these fuel powered tools, fuel powered trucks, and it soaks into the grapes. And you taste it in the wine. And so he was like, I'm driving this EV car on my vineyard because it produces less emissions and the less toxic substances go into the grapes, into the vine, into the vineyard, the better the wine tastes. And don't ask me how I know these things. I just know these things, especially when it comes to cars. I know these things. And also, it's like kind of like in a worldly way, one of the people, if the world knew the truth that one of the people that actually started electric vehicles was a transgender person, you know, I can't remember the name, but I mean, they called this person nuts. But without this person in the vehicle, in the automotive industry, we would not be able, modern day, we would not be able to have the knowledge to be able to have EV kits and put EV kits in your mom and dad's old mom and pop Chevy. But because this person went above and beyond and created this vehicle, we now have modern day where all these teeny boppers, all these people, all these dudes, you know, lift kits on Jeeps and lift kits on trucks. Like that's gonna be in the past. People aren't going to be doing that anymore. What people are going to be doing now and in the future, they're going to be purchasing EV kits and putting them in their cars because it's affordable. They can go to any dealership, buy these cars, install the EV kits, and charge at any electric vehicle. That's what's going to end up happening. It's already happening in a different way, in a more controlled way. So I just feel like for me, God is showing me where I come from. He designed me. You know, if Jesus was divine, what does that make me? Does that make me somebody that's just picking up branches? You know, no. It says Jesus identifies himself as the true vine, his father as the gardener or the vine dresser. God tends to the branches to ensure they grow properly. A branch cannot draw nutrients or survive on its own. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Fred Coppola drives a, a truck. Francis Ford Coppola. A 1999 GM EV1 electric car. Says GM blew their chance to be the leader in EV vehicles. Let's see.
En US Bank creemos que las victorias memorables suceden en equipo. Por eso diseñamos US Bank Smartly Checking Savings para recompensarte más. Ese es el poder de hacerlo juntos.
Too many Texans feel like they're drowning. The cost of groceries, gas, healthcare. I'm James Tallarico. In the State House, I brought both parties together to make life more affordable, capping the cost of insulin, cutting taxes for small businesses, and passing the this property tax cut in Texas history. In the
Yes.
That smells good. See this article. It's called an original Tucker 48.
In fact, I just drove from LA here to Northern California with no one.
The president.
That's right.
Drive these things.
Well, you're welcome. Come.
This is a car you wanted, a vehicle you lusted after.
When I was about 20, I was really broke. And I won the Samuel Goldwyn Award. The Samuel Goldwyn Award for writing at UCLA paid about $2,400 in cash. There were many practical things I could do, but instead I ordered an Alfa Romeo Giulietta Spider in 1962, which was a dream, beautiful car. During Godfather 2, I bought a Model T car.
Let me ask you about that. That scene in Godfather 2 where you blow up that beautiful Alfa Romeo. I went,
That was hard.
Was that a shell of a car or was it a real car?
Yeah, it was a real car.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. But I do have one of the hubcaps from that. A beautiful hubcap.
Yeah. Well, Francis, thank you very much. That was a treat.
Thank you for visiting. And
you look like my Uncle Frank.
So maybe we're related.
Well, I just felt like I thought of a kid when you got it. Yeah, guy. Yeah, you press the buttons here to get in.
And you think it.
The EV1. I didn't think any of these were still around.
This was a fabulous, fabulous car.
You got in on the electric car thing almost before anybody else.
Very early. I really loved this car. And when I heard they were going to destroy them all, I hid it so that they couldn't get it.
Yeah, you press the buttons here to get in.
And you think of what this was, and that General American Technology did it.
Yeah.
And they just kind of abandoned it. It was kind of crazy.
This is a fantastic car. It was just a little bit ahead of its time. And of course, probably the crown jewel of the collection, the Tucker, huh? Okay, this is the main event for me. Original Tucker 48. These are extremely rare. There are only 51 ever made. And at the time, this was an icon of the future. Today, it's a symbol of a glorious failure.
This is the movie car that when you see the car being built, we took this car all apart so that we could show it being assembled.
And it had the safety cell.
Exactly.
The idea was, if you saw an accident coming, you're supposed to dive into the floor.
And you'd be protected.
Just throw your shoulder into that well.
He wanted seatbelts, but his advisor said, if you put seatbelts on it, it would imply cars are unsafe.
Okay.
It was a Franklin air-cooled.
Right. That was a Franklin helicopter engine, right?
Right.
6-cylinder, air-cooled, powerful engine. This was a fast car.
Whenever you want to with your wife.
Elon Musk is a futurist. He put a spacecraft into outer space.
You only have... The car hasn't been driven in a year.
You know, you should have somebody like me come up and drive...
They added the water cooling to it. Tucker did.
Oh, okay, that's right. Because in the helicopter, you wouldn't have needed... Yeah. Well, I would love to take this thing for a spin.
Okay,
Let's
sure.
do it.
Tucker 48 originally was $2,450.
The car hasn't been driven in a
Modern
year.
day,
You know, you
over
should
$2
have
million.
somebody like me come up and drive these things.
Well, you're welcome, Abby. Come up whenever you want to with your wife.
Yeah.
She can drive one, too.
You know, I don't know. Well, I don't know about that one. It's a nice driving car.
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
It does have some good pickup, doesn't it?
Drive faster because this car likes to go fast.
This thing really goes.
They used to have a sign, you just got passed by a Tucker.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Tucker was kind of like Elon Musk a little bit, wasn't he?
Definitely. He built the car out of love of cars,
Right.
not out of anything else. It wasn't to make a fortune. He was an idea man.
Yeah, the tough part is when you got an idea guy, but he's not an engineer.
But what do you think of these guys? Guys like Tucker and Musk and all of the cars.
Well, I think they were trying to build the car of the future. I think Tucker was a futurist. I think Elon Musk is a futurist. He put a spacecraft into outer space.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, that's
He's a
pretty
remarkable
amazing.
guy.
Well, what a treat that was. Thanks, boss. That was great.
No, no.
Oh,
A little toasty.
Tuckers bleed green blood.
Tucker incontinence. Wow.
That is the life. Where did we go right? Ah, now you're talking.
Ah.
Look at this.
An EV1. He added a F-150 Lightning. Interesting. Well, so I typed the word cult into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. First thing that comes up is newsroom on faith. What's in a word? Those who use the word cult. Alright, but I want to look at scripture, so I hit scripture. First thing that comes up is 1 Nephi 13:5. Let's see. None of these are calling to me yet. I can filter by the books. This one's a good one. It says Scriptures or Pearl of Great Price, Joseph Smith History 1:1. Owing to the many reports which have been put in circulation by evil disposed and designing persons, in relation to the rise and progress of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, all of which have been designed by the authors thereof to militate against its character as a church and its progress in the Word, I have been induced to write this history, to disabuse the public mind, and put all inquirers after truth in possession of the facts, as they have transpired in relation both to myself and the Church, so far as I have such facts in my possession. Well, I think modern day, I said it my way, this was said Joseph Smith's way, but I think that this is relatable. Like, I do not feel that there's already enough distortion, they want to call, or deception in the world. There's already so much abuse, evil, and coconut washing in the world that I don't feel that that's my purpose is to sit here and participate in that. I think that God has designed me so that I can, it says, to disabuse the public mind, to heal, starting with my own mind. And my mind has always been stronger than others. I've known that. And I used it the way I knew how. And I think that using my mind is not the problem. I think using my emotions is the problem. And when a brother like me loves, I've seen trees come down. And put all inquirers after truth in possession of the facts. And that's what, I learned stick to the facts. Always stick to the facts as they have transpired. And I think yesterday I've learned, even when you stick to the facts and you want justice, justice will transpire beyond miracles. And especially in a spiritual way, when you know that God is justice, God is your everything. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop blessing you. If you see it, then you see that it's never ending. So far as I have such facts in my possession. And I think that's kind of where I'm at now. If I know something, I'm doing something. I heard Dave say in the YouTube, he said, even if nothing's done about it, at least submit the report. Even if people don't do anything about it, just write the report. And the thing about it is, okay, well, I don't care what these people say. It happened or didn't happen. Did you get my report? All right, then. And if you got my report and you responded to it, then you basically admitted it happened. So thank you. I mean, it's just dumb. I think that to try to mess and meddle with me and probe me is a huge waste of time because I don't have to lie. That's the thing is it says it best here. So far as I have such facts in my possession. And that's why I say, what do I have to lose? All I gain is facts. When people choose to disabuse or be disabused and disabuse a system, or me, or abuse the system, or, some people disabuse in the name of profit, actual profit, not Joseph Smith, actual money. And it's funny because everything's followed up in Alma 4:8, which is the next scripture. For they saw and beheld with great sorrow that the people of the church began to be lifted up in the pride of their eyes, and to set their hearts upon riches and upon the vain things of the world, that they began to be scornful one towards another, and they began to persecute those that did not believe according to their own will and pleasure. And I think that that is the definition of a cult. When you begin to persecute, to bring pain on people that don't follow your corporate agenda or don't fall into place when you want them to fall into place, I think that is definition of a cult. That is not culture. That is not a church culture, a church faith, or belief system. That is a cult. And God does not want us to tear each other down or abuse each other. One, he said, I only designed you and love because you guys were problematic. But, he wants to show us as Heavenly Father that He's the only solution. He is Creator. And we're here to solve and be part of those solutions, to be solutions in the world, and not just light, but what is light if we want to do nothing with it and to just abuse it? It's He's showing us through all this that He is solving all of everything. He can solve every problem, to the point where if we try to understand how He did it, we get lost in calculating how He even is here. And He says, don't focus on that, and don't focus on how many times I've blessed you, because we'd be here all day and nothing will happen. He said, but just focus on the way through me, because I'm already in you. This is another one. This is the history 1:6. For notwithstanding the great love which the converts to these different faiths expressed at the time of their conversion, and the great zeal manifested by the respective clergy who were active in getting up and promoting this extraordinary scene of religious feeling, in order to have everybody converted as they were pleased to call it, let them join what sect they pleased. Yet, when the converts began to fall off, some to one party and some to another, it was seen that the seemingly good feelings of both the priests and the converts were more pretended than real. For a scene of great confusion and bad feelings ensued, priest contending against priest, and convert against convert, so that all their good feelings one for another, if they ever had any, were entirely lost in a strife of words and a contest about opinions. And I think that I just had such a great life. And I'll never forget, being told your job is not to do, not to please me, but to do what's best for the company, right? And it's like, I looked out for everyone and everything except for myself in the process. But now I see the process that took place when God took me out of that place. I see that God was not happy with me being used, my gifts being used, and the power, more importantly, His power being used, His power being abused. His love for me was being abused. And I didn't have a place to praise, to worship, to idolize anyone or anything but one man. That's weirdo stuff. And I thank God that that's not the case today. And I thank God that somehow I stumbled across this course that helped me understand that I get to define my emotional beliefs. And this says it perfectly, like, it says, it says right here, let's try to start from, it's a really long sentence. Well, let's see what's next. Saying this fellow pursueth man to worship God contrary to the law. Let's see. This one is kind of interesting. So it's Acts 24:5. This one's good too. 4 Nephi 1:28. And this church did multiply exceedingly because of iniquity and because of the power of Satan, who did get hold upon their hearts. That's a good one. I like this one. Acts 24:5. For we have found this man a pestilent fellow, and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. Let's see. Eight, commanding his accusers to come unto thee, by examining of whom thyself mayest take knowledge of all these things where we accuse him. And herein do I exercise myself to have always a conscience void of offense toward God and toward men. Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say in so many words today. I have a freaking conscience. And that's sadly, the truth is, a conscience is more than what most people can say they have. This is good. This is fine. It says at the end, he hoped also that money should have been given him of Paul, that he might lose him. Wherefore he sent for him the oftener and communed with him. But after 2 years, Porcius Festus came into Felix's room. Felix went to shew the Jews a pleasure, left Paul bound. Okay, hold on. But this one. 4 Nephi 28. And this church did multiply exceedingly because of iniquity and because of the power of Satan, who did get hold upon their hearts. Let's see. Well, I think the solution to cults is conscience. I think enlightening people that control over your conscience is the power to combat cults. And when, like they say, it only takes one bad apple. When one apple says, I don't want to be an apple anymore, then, like, I don't know, when one apple takes over not just the tree but the orchard, like, that's not good at all. And I'm just like, wow, just thank you, God, for taking me out of that toxic place. Okay, well, I'm done sharing my emotions and my feelings. Peace.